Howdy ho, YouTube. Anti-Citizen Juan here, bringing you a replay from the other day. It was a good 1v1 I had playing Beastmen, which is my main, versus Gotrek Gurnison. Repping the dwarves, as he should be, in the lore. So, take a look at some of my composition here. This is... You probably already know what I'm getting at in terms of what I'm doing with my build. Just in the fact that I have Malagor and a Cygor and I'm fighting dwarves. Now, this is a strategy that I don't see employed very often when players playing the Beastmen fighting dwarves. And for me, I've had, I would say, mostly success with it. You know, a good dwarf player, I think, can still easily beat this kind of composition. But I have some Gore Herd with shields, and I have some, Senegors with great weapons. I have 2 of them. That's pretty standard fare. And then you bring lots of Ungor Spearmen. These are probably, in my opinion, just the amount I played, which I only have about 360 hours played, probably one of the most cost-effective units in the game. The Ungor Spearmen, they have decent, the morale's not great, but the whole thing of Beastmen, and this is really important, and a lot of people don't understand, a lot of people are saying that, Bestigors are no good, they're not worth the cost. Beastmen get, I think it's Primal Fury or Bestial Surge. Primal Fury. So when they're around certain leaders like Goatboys or sometimes certain generals, they get, immune to psychology. They get, increased damage, increased speed. Look at that. 8% charge bonus. Actually, no, I think maybe a lot of these units just have that. It's either that or it's an aura effect. I don't exactly recall. Basically, what I do when I'm fighting dwarves is I force them to sally out. So I have my Cygor that I bring, who's up here on the hill, and I have my new Cygor that decays over time because of the last patch 5 mechanic. Now, I do this deliberately. I have my main Cygor in the back, and I have my shittier Cygor in the front because this Cygor is going to die. This Cygor is going to get killed. This guy's going to fire. We have the dwarf line, which got some, warriors, great weapons. We got some warriors with Dragonfire Pass. We got, Thorgrimlings, always, pretty solid investment on his behalf. Compared to a Gore Herds, and, it's really not that good. But when you get that, Primal Fury, I think Bestial Surge. When you get that Primal Fury, these guys can get pretty tough. And, they got the armor piercing. My guys are getting blasted here by the blasting charges. And I got my Senegors now coming out. This guy had to sally forth, because if he didn't sally forth, he would get nuked by my Cygors. I got 19 kills on this one, 23 on the other, not bad. But now look at this. Now he's got all of his guys protecting this, artillery back here. And I could just come in with my, Senegors with great weapons here. Nice little charge here. Do some Air Carthage style stuff here. Get the close up. And look, I got my Goatboys, just nailing Thorgrim. And then I think there's looks like a Runesmith in the mix. And Malagor can hold his own versus trash infantry. He's really not as squishy as people think he is. He's honestly my favorite legendary lord in the game. Now, I'm not going to stroke my own dick here, but I think this was a very intelligent move because I noticed that he was bringing the Slayers up. Because, his line is getting just completely eviscerated. The Bestigors and, all these Gore Herds. So what I do is I put my shitty Spearmen, and this is why they're so valuable, because they're completely expendable. They have an anti-large, the charge defense against large foes, and I could just completely, I've just essentially cut off his forward deployment. And meanwhile, he's just getting nuked, from my Cygors. He got 43 kills on this one, 33 kills on this one, and he's just gonna, he's gonna get blasted. I'm not really showing this video, I'm not implying that my opponent is bad. I actually, I enjoyed this battle, and this is kind of a precarious situation for a dwarf player because normally you expect to have the artillery superiority, and I'm fighting Beastmen. They're much, weak, low armor units that are just going to get trashed. But essentially, in my experience, Beastmen use holding forces while your Goatboys, if you have Minotaurs, these Centaurs are important. Mine kind of got thrashed here, but 57 kills. That's probably worth the investment. And then once they move all the guys up, look at that. Now their artillery is wide open. So the Senegors, you got to utilize the mobility, and you got to utilize your cheap troops as Beastmen. That's the key. I've had a lot of success as Beastmen. I know, in Ninja Hun's army composition guide, he says he has a 90% win rate as Beastmen. I think probably of the last 64 kills. Of the last, I want to say 50 games or so, I've maybe lost about 5 or 6. I don't lose very often as Beastmen. That's why I enjoy it. I think I have a good grasp of how the playstyle works. And I've made adjustments in terms of what I do. Me bringing Bestigor is kind of relatively new. I generally would bring Minotaurs, however you prefer it. And, you know, I mean, they get focused. You know, only time I really bring Minotaurs now is when I'm fighting Chaos or when I'm fighting Vampires, because I know they're not going to get sniped. But, you know, these Dwarfs are still tough. And, sorry, I said a little hiccup there. These Dwarfs are still tough. And, you know, I mean, I probably put Gotrek here into a pretty precarious situation, like I said. I mean, look at the Centaur at 60, or Cygor at 64 kills. This one got 39. And then towards the end, you just bring them in, and then you're causing terror to already beat up units. So, I mean, this composition with Malagor, double Cygor, you know, that guy did his job. That was a free spawn. My Malagor, all I ever bring besides that is I just bring Vile Tide. I mean, it's not, or not Vile Tide, it's a Traitor Kin. As a single target damage spell, and it's really not that good of a spell. It's just, it gives you, for a little bit of investment, it gives you a solid, you know, focused single target attack that, you know, Malagor can continue to cast on, you know, whether you're going after the Runesmith, whether you're going after, you know, the Lord of the Dwarven army, or just any army in general. You know, between the Gorbel and you have Malagor, who he can hold his own too. I mean, these Beastmen are pretty tough. You know, the combination is just deadly. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm planning on doing a lot more uploads. I know this isn't probably as angry as my video, which, again, you know, Creative Assembly, I don't want to come across as rude. But, you know, you guys need to fix that shit of fucking people quitting. It's no fun. You know, this game has so much potential to be, like, not necessarily an esport, but, you know, to be competitive. You know, let's have an actual ladder that means something. You know, that guy number 1, you should be able to look at that leaderboard and say, wow, I mean, I don't know who's up there now. I mean, we could take a look. You know, be like, wow, that guy was, you know, really good. And, you know, I'm not implying that they're not. I'm sure all these guys are extraordinary players. I mean, look at the wins. You know, I mean, all these guys up here are really good. You know, and they deserve the spot that they got, except, you know, Beholder here, who, fuck you. You know, let's make this a fun game. I honestly think the game, at the state that it's in, it's balanced for the most part. I mean, some things need boosts. Some of the magics, some of the lores are just, you know, complete garbage, lore metal in particular. And some of them just have useless spells, but I feel like that Creative Assembly has a good base to make this into a much, much better game than it already is. And frankly, I mean, I came in pretty late into this franchise. I started playing Rome 2 after, like, patch 16, you know, once it was already stable. You know, so I saw the news and the shit show about Rome 2 when it came out, and I was like, all right, forget this. And it kind of became like the equivalent of a Roman weeaboo over many years, and I was just like, you know, hey, pick up Rome 2, let's see how it is. And I fell in love with this franchise. But again, you know, I hope you guys enjoyed this. If you want to see some more Beastmen action, I do a little greenskins, but mostly Beastmen. Feel free to like and subscribe. Yeah, I really don't got much else to say, so I hope you guys have a great night, and this is Anti-Citizen 1. Peace.